Yeah.
Like it's only like I know a lot of people will be like, it's not even the same movie. Well, no fucking shit. Who wants the same movie?
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, I mean, like you said, Tobe Hooper knew that, like, making the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a nightmare. If that movie looks rough and it looks like shit's real and it looks like people are miserable, it's because they really are.
Yeah, she really got cut in that movie.
Yeah, and he didn't want to make another movie like that, even though it added to how great the first film is. He didn't want to do that.
He knew what he had.
Yeah.
He knew that I can't recreate this or replica this.
Yeah, I can't redo any of this, so I'm not even going to try. So that's why Texas 2 came years later in 86 anyway.
Yeah.
So it was well beyond 10 years before a sequel even happened, because back then, spoiler alert, sequels wasn't as common as it is now.
Yeah.
People didn't know that they could make money off of these people. So anyway, yeah, he didn't do it. He brought in Dennis Hopper and got Caroline Williams and Bill Moseley, and he made it a much more like wink type of movie, still keeping it kind of in the spirit of Chainsaw. And he got the cook back, Bill what's his name? Jim Sheeto, I believe was his name. With Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, you had Virgo Morstein. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, I think Morstein.
He's a big fucking actor now. You know, he played in the History of Violence and all kinds of shit. And, of course, the great Ken Foray from the Dawn of the Dead movie and From Beyond and others. And then Chainsaw 4 sucks ass, and Matthew McConaughey is the only memorable performance in that film. If it's not for Matthew McConaughey, I would burn this film, honestly.
100%. Especially how they did Leatherface in it. They took fuck that director. I want to put that out there. Fuck her. Fuck him. Fuck her. Okay, your pronouns is a lamp, shove a bulb up your ass. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, you piece of shit bitch. Like, she hate, oh my God. Blatantly did that. Disrespect to Leatherface because she didn't like the character. Well, don't do a goddamn don't do a fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Actually,
movie.
it might have been a dude.
Whoever.
It might have been a woman who wrote it and a dude directed. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Whoever
but
did
it fucking pisses me off. It's like a goddamn Candyman remake. You wanted to put your bullshit into it and ruin a fucking great movie. Fuck you.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. And they had the nerve to put on the advertisement, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel you deserved. Like, oh my God, it's bad. Anyway.
The balls that movie tried to portray that it didn't have. Fuck you and everything about that movie except for Matthew McConaughey. You're a fucking national treasure. I love you.
Yeah, and let's not shoot over the fact that Renee Zellweger did a pretty good leading role in it too. But the thing about it is if you had just made that movie the way it is and not had Leatherface in it, it would have been an underground classic, and people would have been like, "Oh my God, that one Matthew McConaughey movie where he's a fucking psycho, that's awesome." Yeah, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, it wasn't like that. Anyway, after that, you had the remake, which brought it back to its glory years. A lot of people love that movie. A lot of people like it over the original. Some people don't. I like it just fine, not over the original. I actually like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, over the remake. I like the beginning. I don't know why. I just do.
It's fucking amazing. That's why. That's why you like it. It's a fucking fantastic movie. It ends like it's supposed to. It's gratifying.
It's a satisfying ending. Although the lead girl in the beginning wasn't as annoying as the one from the Netflix movie.
Right.
But it was still, like, if you're going to do the beginning, then it obviously nobody is supposed to survive.
I was very surprised in the Netflix movie that she got killed.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I still got two more to talk about.
Gotcha.
The one that everybody on is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D.
He looks funky, man.
It's supposed to be an older version of him. He's been in the goddamn basement. He's been feeding lamb chops or whatever the fuck they're giving him.
Lamb chops. Hey, Bubba, you want some lamb chops?
But I still found him. I still found him to be goddamn menacing and mean. Honestly, more so mean than anything. Like the guy that played the Leatherface had like that stare, that look at you.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing. I mean, I guess people poo-poo on it because they pretty much made Leatherface a hero in it, because the worst bad guys are actually the sheriff and the town secrets and everything.
It's
but
always the cops that are bad guys.
I mean, I really don't give a fuck. Fuck them all. Like, kill them all, Leatherface.
Yeah, Leatherface for president 2024.
And then you actually have Leatherface, which is a total unique movie. This is, like, they tried to tell a story that Leatherface was a normal guy who happened to be taken away from a fucked up family, grew up in kind of like a orphanage type of deal.
Yeah.
And then they kind of broke out and like went back to his roots type of deal. And you know, I do think it was cool. One of the coolest scenes in that film is when they're getting chased by I believe the police, Stephen Dwarf, or I don't know if it was Stephen Dorff's character, but the police, and they shoot, and you see the bullet fly by and fucking cut his face, and it's like, okay, this is why he's so self-conscious, because that bullet fucking exploded his fucking jaw, and it's like, you know, I don't like this better than the original beginning that we got 2 movies ago, but it's okay. And then, of course, I thought that the Netflix film was fucking wonderful. I thought it was, like you said, it was back to basics and everything. The only thing I didn't like about it is I did not like the fact that they brought Sally Hardisty's character back into it. I thought that was kind of lame, especially her death scene was kind of stupid. But other than that, everything about the film was satisfying, including the final scene where he takes the girl out and she's driving off, and he gets her, you know, he basically cuts her head off because she's one of these fucking woke fucking social media fucking bitches, and it's satisfying to hear or see a bunch of big mouth Karens get their head fucking chopped off.
Yeah, that was definitely a oh yes, thank you moment. I definitely enjoyed that bitch getting her nugget cut. She needed it. Like, I don't want to say Netflix is a woke company. They're not as bad as Disney.
If they were a woke company, if they were a woke company, they probably would have saw that ending and wouldn't have approved it.
Yeah, or they just didn't know it. But they're like, oh, Texas, put it up. And then they're like, oh, shit.
Anyway, I wanted to go ahead, since you mentioned Texas, go ahead and mention all that stuff. So, your number 6.
Yes, number 6 is the Saw franchise.
Nice.
Is this on your list?
No.
Cool. That means we can conversate. I love the Saw movies. Probably more so than I should admit. The first one, all-time classic. I think I've told this story about Saw on here before. Have I told this story about Saw?
Maybe.
So I'm going to talk about the story of Saw. So me and the Thunder, when we were younger lads, was going to our local movie theater to see The Grudge. I don't know why. We knew it was going to suck, but we just wanted to go see it, you know? And
we didn't know it was going to suck.
We had inklings. But anyway, we wanted to go see it, and then we're watching the movie theater. We're watching the movie in the theater. What the fuck am I thinking? My mom's there too. So the movie is like breaking up, and then it cuts off, and then we're sitting there for a good I'd say 10 minutes. And I yell out, "Play the fucking movie," being the young kid that I was. And this this fucking Karen comes around the corner. You can't talk like that. You got to go. You got to go. You got to get out of here. And my mom was like, "We ain't got to go no goddamn where. And we paid this." And they was like, "Well, I don't give a, I don't care. You can't get your money back. You got to go." So my mom was like, "Fuck this. We paid money for this. We're going to get, tickets, vouchers, whatever." And she did, to her credit. So, a little movie not known by people at the time, this new great movie was, well, not great, but this new movie was coming out called Saw. So me and the Thunder had 2 movie passes, and it was like, "Hey, you want to go see this new movie Saw?" And it was fucking awesome seeing Saw in theaters. Like the initial shock was like, it was something that I haven't experienced possibly ever since then. The shock and awe of Tobin Bell when he gets up at the end of the movie, it was just magical, is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, it was a good little twist at the end of the film, and I think we hadn't really seen something that brutal in theaters. Like we didn't expect it to be that brutal,
right? And
just going back to what you said, yeah, we traded in or we traded up basically, and didn't even know it. We were upset the way they treated us at The Grudge, but in the end, it was actually one of the best things that's ever happened to us, because we eventually saw The Grudge and we didn't like it worth a fuck. So
no, it was like we didn't miss shit.
Yeah, and
sucked.
Saw came along and we were like, "Holy shit,
this is awesome!" And it was pretty much all downhill from there. Part 2 came out, and then they announced that Danny Glover was in it, and we've already talked about Danny Glover earlier. Him and cop roles is just like, peanut butter and chocolate. It just goes together. It's great. You give me a cop movie or a cop role and you put Danny Glover in it, it's going to be fucking gold. Yeah. Any way, shape, or form. And he was just born to play characters like that. I don't know what it is. And part 2 is on par, if not better than the first one.
Well, me not having this franchise on the list, I can go ahead and tell you that part 2 is my favorite Saw film.
Right.
And the first Saw is my second favorite, and probably Saw 10, the recent one, is probably my third favorite. From there on, it's kind of like a pick-em, like they could fall in either category, and I don't think any of them suck. They kind of got a little repetitive, and it was at one time it was like, God damn, here's another Saw film.
Yeah.
But going back and watching them overall, I there's not one where I just go, I don't want to watch it ever again. It's not like that. It's kind of like, you might forget about 6, 7, or whatever, and then you go back and you're like, almost rediscover it for the first time,
right?
But the ones that really stick with you, I think the first one, the second one, and definitely Saw 10, definitely in my case sticks with me more than any of them. The other ones are pretty solid as well.
Yeah, I would say the first 4 and 10. I'm not gonna go into the order because I really have to think about it, because I was pretty like set in stone with my list.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw 10 and
10 was a breath of fresh air. It was good.
I don't know if it's just we haven't seen Tobin Bell in so long. We haven't had a Saw movie in so long. And it was just refreshing.
Yeah.
The story was really fucking good.
I think that's what it was. I think the last couple of Saw movies has been following the same story, especially when you had that detective.
Well, they were